Proverbs chapter 5, it says, "My son, pay attention to my wisdom. Listen carefully to my discernment, so that you may guard your thinking abilities and safeguard knowledge with your lips. For the lips of a wayward woman drip like a honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But in the end, she is as bitter as wormwood and as sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet descend into death. Her steps lead straight to the grave. She gives no thought to the path of life. Her course wanders, but she does not know where. Now, my sons, listen to me, and do not turn away from what I am saying. Stay away from her. Do not go near the entrance of her house, so that you may not give your dignity to others, nor reap years of what is cruel, so that strangers may not drain your resources, and what you labored for go to the house of a foreigner. Otherwise you will groan at the end of your life when your flesh and body waste away. And you say, how I hated discipline, how my heart despised reproof. I did not listen to the voice of my instructors or pay attention to my teachers. I have come to the brink of complete ruin in the midst of the entire congregation. Drink water from your own cistern and flowing water from your own well. Should your springs be dispersed outside, your streams of water in the public squares, let them be for you alone and not for strangers with you. May your own fountain be blessed, and may you rejoice with the wife of your youth. A loving doe, a graceful mountain goat, let her breast satisfy you at all times. May you be captured by her love constantly. So why, my son, should you be captivated by a wayward woman, or embrace the bosom of an immoral woman? For the ways of man are before the eyes of Jehovah. He examines all his paths. The wicked one is ensnared by his own errors, and he will be caught in the ropes of his own sin. He will die for lack of discipline and go astray because of his excessive foolishness. One of the biggest problems for men is self-control. We'll see a pretty woman, many times we can lose our control. We forget the end result of engaging in fornication, immorality, all these things that bring us to wasting resources and wasting our life and losing faithfulness to God, even leaving us to be open to sexual diseases and things of this nature. It's only when a man gets self-control, which is the fruit of the Spirit, that he's able to make good decisions. It's a tough quality to cultivate and to maintain, but it's very vital to keep from situations like this where you get involved with these women of fornication. So many women today, they're ready. Fornication, well, that's what's going on. People dating, they act like they're married, but then when they get mad, well, they say, I'm not married, so they leave. So they're dating and mating. There's no love being developed there. There's no loyalty, because they never entered an oath of loyalty. They never said they were going to be loyal in the first place. The Bible is telling us you wait until marriage for this, as it says, the wife of your youth. We can't be throwing logs on the fire, so to speak, by watching porn and anything, or these magazines and things of these things. You got to stay away from that. Loyalty to God, self-control, holding fast to what's right is going to mean much more. And it's going to benefit us far more than the detriment that comes from giving in to such a woman. The man that can avoid these women like this is setting a fine foundation for his life. He won't be later on regretting and saying, wow, I wish I had listened. I wish I had not got involved with that. And you only can develop that by, instead of latching on to porn and all those type of things, you have to get your mind focused on listening to God, reading his word, helping you talk you through this situation, because it's not easy. Particularly if you feel like you have never experienced love in your life and you feel lonely and these type of things. The first thing coming your way, giving you attention, you may think, well, hey, here I go. But no, if you make that move like that, you're gonna regret it. We don't want to be wicked, because the wicked think, oh, ain't no big deal. Oh, I'll just go do this and that's it. And they become ensnared with their own errors, caught in his own sin. And then he got a lot of explaining to do, suffering that will come with that, maybe an unwanted child, these type of complications. Nothing is done that's going to end well. I think about a lot of these guys that have basketball contracts and things and football contracts. They get them, and before you know it, they broke. Because what were they out there doing? They're out there getting with these wayward women. Because the women are showing up, and they say, hey, I'm just going to do this. And then before you know it, they got a baby, child support, and before you know it, they don't have any money. Now, if they latched on to self-control, how much better off they would have been. Only God's word is going to help us. And when you have that self-control, you're going to produce some good, very great decisions. That self-control that's needed is produced by listening to God, listening to his word, like here in Proverbs 5, and seeing that if you go down that road, it's going to mean trouble. You open that door, that's going to be trouble. So you don't even want to get there. You run from it instead of to her. And Paul said if we need to get married, well, we get married. There's nothing wrong with that. But we don't have sex before marriage. We wait until we are married, and then we enjoy the wife of our youth. Even Paul was trying to tell Felix, Governor Felix, about the self-control, and he's like, "Oh man, that was too tough for him to listen to, because it's a quality that people know they need, but then when you talk about it, like, wow, that's hard because of all these temptations out here. But you got to have it if you want to have blessings instead of regrets. And those that maintain the self-control will maintain their integrity to God, and that will lead to everlasting blessings.